Alright, so greetings ladies and gentle people. We are currently going over a game on my real board, as you might have noticed by the fact that there is a real board on your screen in front of you. That tends to give it away. Now, the players you might kind of, sort of, almost recognize. We've got Lee Changho on there, that's cool. And we've got a Japanese player, Suzuki Masaharu. Now, the Japanese player you might not recognize, Lee Changho, you absolutely recognize, but you might be thinking there's something slightly off with that particular line of name. Last time you checked, he was probably a 9-dan. Never fear, he is still a 9-dan, but we are going over one of his games from when he was a professional 2-dan. Ooh, professional 2-dan. So yes, Lee Changho is black in this particular game. And he opens up with a 4-4 point. Now I know if you're like me, you're probably starting to look into some therapy, because every time I see a 4-4 point, I'm immediately seeing a 3-3 point right underneath it. Despite the fact that it hasn't been played, I'm seeing that it's there, and it's mocking me. But don't worry. This was not played in the age of the immediate 3-3 points, so fear not, dear viewers. White plays lower left hand 4-4, not inviting anything and everything. Is White really even a professional player by not playing there? It is a question that we can ask ourselves, except we're not going to, because that's insane. Behold the second 4-4 point. Clearly, Lee Changho may have an idea to go into some influential play, but we do not know for certain. How old was Lee when he played this game? That is a very good question. I do not know. I can tell you, and I will tell you, that this game was played in 1988. June of 1988, if you want to get technical. Some of you may not have even been born when this game was played. Mind blown. Alright, time to figure out. This is where we decide what black is really thinking about. Is he thinking about approaching, and if so, high or low, influence versus territory? Is he going to grab an enclosure? We're seeing those nowadays, only this game was not played nowadays. We could, for some reason, approach the 4-4 point, but you know that's not going to happen because the 3-4 is more important, and we're not going to see the 3-3 because this game isn't that new. Instead, oh yeah, we're going over it. We are going over a Sanrinse game here on my channel. Did you think you'd ever live to see the day? White approaches. Cool, cool, cool. We could pincer, we could back off. Lots of fun things we could do here. Instead, black ignores and approaches, looking to keep building, I suppose. Interesting, but okay. Now, we could get bogged down into a debate on which pincer is good here, but, It wouldn't really matter, because White sees these two stones and decides to aid them. Makes sense. We're gonna develop this area between our two stones. Why wouldn't you? Of course you would. What are you, a heathen? You're gonna look at your stones and you're gonna save them. Obviously. Now we see a Joseki here. Just like so. Oh. Nice and simple. Black gets a base. Now, I would normally play something over in here, because I'm not really too concerned about the invasion point here. But back in the day, we played a little bit more cautious. That's right. Back in the day, we didn't get into all this fancy-pantsy leaving Aji and fighting things. No, sir. Lee Changho didn't do all that stuff. He was a bit more of a solid player. White follows up with a good old 3-3 because, opponent ignored the move. And of course, we're going to build like so. Just building me my wall. Look how easy that is. Have you ever seen a position easier than this one to figure out? No, you have not. No, you have not. So, alright. We're just kind of developing here as black. Moves aren't that complicated. We approached and settled. 3-3, we walled. We're walling to somewhere. You wouldn't want to play this move, or this way rather, if there wasn't something here, because then white would then just turn around and take that away from you. And at that point, the question would become, what are we building towards? We have absolutely no idea. Why did we give up our corner then? We'd absolutely have no idea. And this would be all sorts of bad. Since we do have a stone there, it's not that bad, is it? No, it is not. No, it is not. So, black approaches, or white approaches, sorry. And black's like, you know what? That felt so good getting that wall. Let's do it again. But white's like, hang on a minute. I don't want to give you another wall over there. I'm going to jump out. We are going to fight over what is going on here. Okay. Now here's the thing. I like that white jumped out, but I would not like white jumping out. Reason why I like this is because we're going to see why we don't normally play this way. Because you have two choices. You can play here, right? Give territory away. Get influence. Usually in Gote. Kind of painful. And if we just try and make shape, which is what we're going to see here, then we run into an issue. That issue is even if we try and counterattack this position, like white is doing now, it's easy to handle for black, and then what is white going to do here? How do we actually solve this? It's kind of tough, you know? Like when we jump out, we're jumping out for influence. White's trying to use the influence to attack, but by attacking, is this still influence? Is this a strong position? It's kind of tough. But we can settle. We can jump once. And black is going to protect because this is fourth line freaking territory. And we can get shape here. Which black is only too happy to respond to. I mean, why wouldn't you? You're getting stronger. White has to respond. And then you get to counterattack. Nice. Simple. Easy. Peasy. Doesn't take a genius to realize who's getting more out of this position. Right? No one would look at this board and be like, man, I want to be white here. Look at all that. Territory? No. No one would do that. No one would do that. But it's okay. White can try and get some fourth line territory too. Excellent. I just hit the thing next to the mic. That probably was loud. Sorry. We push. Hana had it 2 and 3 stones. Means this is probably a good thing. Shapu. And we can poku shapu once. Threatening to cut through it. So white will not allow us to do such things. And now that we're nice and strong, we can go back and jump out. Because even if white jumps out once, we can jump out again. And if white jumps out, and then if white jumps out again, you know, we can still get out without being behind enemy lines. Like if we didn't make these exchanges first, and then we just tried to jump out, then we'd have an issue where our group is kind of under attack, right? But thankfully we did, so it's not really an issue. So it made ourselves stronger before beginning this particular fight. Good order of operations for black, I must say. Threaten to connect under. And honey. And connect. And connect. And now yell at Peyton Bigsby. Peyton just said it's almost like the 6th Dan knows what he's doing. Did you just say that the 6th Dan was black? Because I was just talking about black's moves and why you jumped out first before doing this. And the 2 Dan is black. You can see it because their name is in black. Stop comment shaming. It's okay. I tease Peyton. Alright, so yeah. Now the question is, what is white going to do? Well, here's the thing. White has to do something. White can't just, like, jump here and give Sente away. Because this is not going well, and neither is this. So white decides it's time to throw down. We have all of this strong shape. It's time to get crazy. We gonna get crazy up in here. Black protects against a cutting point. Nice and simple. So we have the poke. Black extended. Awesome. Now, we can't really do anything crazy like this. I'm sure everyone agrees. Because if you do this, you have an easy splitting attack. World's easiest splitting attack you've ever splitted in your attack, right? So white moves to connect. We're just reducing. We're not trying to cut off and kill. Because we're not crazy people. Only crazy people try and kill people, okay? But it gets a response. Forcing the connection. And everyone should get black's next move. Everyone should get black's next move. You should all know it. 3-3? How would you possibly 3-3? Philomonchix has N3. Yuffington says N3. Unreal said something weird. Q18? Weird. Anyone else want to guess? Guessing going once? Guessing going twice? Sold to Philomonchix and Yuffington because it was really, really that easy. This group is cut off. Obviously, you're going to Hane. It gives you shape, makes you stronger. It's really, really good. Fun for the whole family. Plays Hane. Now, you could double Hane here and threaten a Ko, but that wasn't Lee Changho. Do, making myself stronger. Don't mind me. He's got a nice and basic style, yo. Too simple to play, man. Too simple to play. White fixes the shape. And now black gets some Sente. Now we can go back and play Unreal's suggestion. But we did it in order of importance, and this group that was cut off was more important than this one, which is completely fine. Now white says, I'm gonna go for the gold. And this, ladies and gentle people, is where the game takes a turn. The attachment is provoking a fight. The attachment is provoking a fight. Because we could just extend, and then white just extends and kind of just annexes this. But is white really strong enough to do this, is now the question. That is indeed the question. How is white going to handle this? By backing off? No, 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 no. White is getting fancy and inviting all of the cuttings. And I do mean all of the cuttings. Okay, okay. That was a clear invitation. Look at what happens when you're obsessed with killing your opponent. Do you see? Do you see what happens when you're obsessed with killing your opponent? You start over-fancifying the game. So now we have a broken ladder. Do, 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 do. But it's okay. Because white has ideas, chat. Just like so. And then protects. Okay. That was a very, very fancy idea. Atari. And connect. Atari. Well, semi-Atari. Sorry, that was not... That was semi-Atari. Sorry. Had two liberties. I forgot. That was semi-Atari. Close enough. But now what do we do from here is the question. Broken ladders are so hot. H14 not looking so hot right now. Ooh, what's H14? H14, H14. Oh, the stones here. Oh, these have been not looking so great for a very long time. Isn't E9 weak? What's E9? You guys have coordinates. I don't. These outside stones? Yeah, these things are pretty weak. I agree. So here's the thing. This is all fourth line territory. So Lee Changho has the beginnings of a brilliant moment. A move that is not on any of your radar, including my own. He looks at all of this and says, you know what? I reckon you're a little bit weak in that area. What do you think? Who would actually consider this? Is that move on any of your radar? Anyone's? It wasn't on mine, that's for sure. It is pure reading of bats. I'm sure it's pure reading. It's probably also the time that they were playing in, because we saw a lot of this back then, and I'm sure that positions similar to this came up. This kind of thing doesn't really come up nowadays, so we don't even really think about how to invade it. This is probably a move that he's either played before, had played against him, seen it played, something like that. Or like here, or like wherever. But alright. He's obviously threatening to go in the corner, threatening to peep, threatening to come out. It's alright. But white ain't no slouch. Don't let the 6P by the name fool ya. They're not some amateur. Question number 1. Can I save all my stones? Denied. Okay. Question number 2. Are you dead? Are you dead? Therein lies the questions. Big exchange going on right here, because this, for example, is a huge follow-up, right? I think peoples would agree. Kind of a bigly follow-up. But for now, locally, Black says, "Please, sir, can I live here?" Okay. Good question. White says, "You can't leave, man." And Black says, "But I'd really like to. I just want to get rid of all your territory. That's all." And White says, "Denied." But what is the problem with what White is saying? Who has spotted this issue? Who has spotted the problem? Philemonchik says there's cutting points. There are cutting points, aren't there? There are indeed. Black connects. I mess up all the stones, which is why I should never play in an actual tournament. Have to protect. Drops down, threatening another cutting point. Protected. But now we cut. Because you don't push unless you are going to cut. So now we've got that going for us. White says, I'm going to gain a liberty in Sente. And then move to kill you. Meanwhile, Black says, are you really? And White says, you betcha. You betcha. And Black says, are you really? White says, yes, I am. Now die. Two hoo 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 hoo. But the problem with that is quite simple. We are now surrounding the outside in Zente. And more than that, this is it that one? Yes. Seems to be a ko. All right. Who can see where the ko threat is? Where's ko threat? Top left. Be more specific. C5. C5, C5, C5. C5 is... Oh, interesting. Nope, you got a larger one. There's a threat. That Atari, now there's a threat. We're going to try to go for all the things. And you know what? There's even more of it. There's even more. So White realizes the undeniable truth. There's no way to win this ko without greatly having these come back to life, and you've already given this area up or territory. There is no way forward anymore. And White resigns. Game Ogre. Well, I know a lot of you people like Sanrinsei games. Some of you play Sanrinsei. I know you do. I know you're out there. This game was for you guys. Went back to 1988 to find a Sanrinsei game just for y'all. Okie dokie. So, going over another game here. This time, Lee Changho is white, and the 6th Dan is black. So you might be wondering, how will this game turn out? Well, there's a few interesting parts straight off the bat in this game. Right off the bat, there's some cool things going on here. Such as White takes that 3-4 corner. We don't often see this, because more often than not, Black's going to get this corner, White will get another corner, and then Black gets to approach the 3-4 stone and expand his area. So this turns into like the widest part of the board, and we get to like approach the widest part of the board, get to start expanding the widest part of the board, and our responses to this is kind of tough. We don't see it very often. Continue how you would expect, sorry. Now, when you do play this way, there's really not a whole lot of Joseki you can choose. Yep. This game is also played in the 1988, only a few months later. I don't remember why I was looking at early Lee Changho games. I think I was trying to look at some simpler play. So I decided let's study some Lee Changho games. So I was going through them. I think that's how that happened. And then while I was going through them, I was like, you know what? I should just do a real board on some of these as well. And now we are here. But yeah, when we have this, we can't just like pincer and start jumping like haphazardly, because what winds up happening is it's really easy to jump and counter pincer, which then also expands off of this. Because what winds up happening there is like you jump, he jumps, and then the question is which side are we going to jump on now? Are we jumping on like this one, allowing that to be attacked? Are we jumping this side and allowing that to be attacked? Like where are we going to go from here, right? It doesn't make... It's a little hard to use, right? It's also kind of annoying to just go and play this way. And then just let your opponent develop this in exchange for just a corner, right? So this is very much a special move, I want to say, because you can't play it and not know what you're going to do when your opponent approaches you. In this case, Black approaches, and white's just like, yeah, I'll do that too. Boom. Approached. Get approached, kid. And now you have to choose. You can follow up this, and then so can white. Two-space high pincer has been very, very common answer to this. I still like this one, personally, because the jump out is very, very common, which leads into a very easy shoulder hit. So it just feels like a nice way to respond to this. I would say for about 10 years or so, or more, 15, something like that, this was the most common way of handling this particular position, including the pincer. We don't play this way very much now. I think now we prefer to lean than just do a 1-point jump out. White says no joy to that and turns. Black goes under, immediately picking up some dem points. And push, because it's Sente. Opponent's not going to let you go underneath, right? And I think this is a position where if you were to kindly ask Leela, who has the preference here, it's overwhelmingly black, right? Overwhelmingly. Because this is kind of a, and it's not even done yet. Because you can't leave this behind, right? You cannot leave this behind. So, we gotta do, wait. Awkward moment. This was pincered high, not low. Doesn't change a whole lot. Just changes the final shape. Anywho, black now as Sente. Black now as Sente. So where's black going to play? Now, some people would probably want to immediately play here. The danger with that is this. Because I know some of you greedy people want to play it. You can still be attacked because this is not mysteriously alive as is, and is not the best thing in the history of ever. So you could play here because you're greedy and you want to save the stone and be like, I'm going to make sure white doesn't get anything here. Except a perfect attack on my weak group now, which is exactly what Influence is looking to do. But aside from that, white's not going to be able to do anything here. So we're not going to play that. We're not going to play that. Instead, we go approach the corner. Makes sense, makes sense, makes sense. White backs off. Ooh. And black, mindful of the fact that there's like a potential invisible wall here, right? Because if we do something like this and like back off, we could potentially see something like this into like a pincer. So we're kind of growing out into the middle while we're attacking, right? So being mindful of the fact that this does want to build because we have the influence ready to build. Nice, simple move. Ooh, so simple. Can you believe how simple Go used to be? Nowadays we'd be like, I don't know what we'd be like. We'd be like, this is a white stone, go and invade something, frack everything else. Right? But no, we used to be so simple. Look how simple that is. Got shape, nice and simple. Direction to play, nice and simple. That's why we used to tell people who were looking to like get better at shape and direction to play, oh yeah, look at Lee Changho's games. Look at old Lee Changho games, because you can kind of see the direction of play at work, where the big moves are, that kind of dealio. What, you sent an approach? Black's like, notice me, senpai. White's like, you notice me. I am the one building. Feeling rather confident, Black goes for a little bit of an overstep. Third territory, fourth influence, fifth is a little bit wishful thinking. But okay, okay. Got it. Looks fantastic. Loving it, loving it. Now, there is one minor problem, I would say, with what's going on here. Do you know what that is? What the minor problem with this area is? Does anyone know? Can anyone tell me? Would you prefer simpler Go? Well, I do have a Back to Basics series. S12. What is S12? Oh. Yeah. That's a problem, isn't it? That's a problem. This area here is indeed undercut, right? So, yeah. Black's like, what are you doing here exactly? And White says, oh, me? I'm just making some points here, my good sir. See? Points. Making points. And Black says, what points? I reduce all your points. Now here's the thing. You could run this all across the board, but you don't know when you're losing, Sente. Like, if you play one more move, Black does not have to respond, because you cannot kill these two stones. You can Hane, you can push, block, you can Hane, but even that doesn't have to be responded to. So, rather than do that, White says, you know, I agree. I was building an area that was undercut. But you were also trying to build an area that can be undercut. Because y'all went to the 5th line. Oof. It's unforgivable. It's unforgivable. You tried to go for the 5th line too. Protecting against the peep. And don't want to get cut. Black, ooh, he likes building. Look at those building moves. But White ain't falling for it. White's just like, I'm gonna live here now. Which means all of this is a glorified corner. Just a glorified corner. That's it. Nothing else. Protecting. And expanding. There's no corner terror. There's a little bit. There's a little. Admittedly not much, but a little. This stone now has capped that group. So we're being very, very careful. with a 1 space, not a 2, because with a 2, there's always like threats with like the attachment and then crossing or cross-cutting when there's like a Hane. So being very, very careful back in there. Ooh, so careful. Thanks for the corner. And taking our territory again. Now, admittedly, this isn't too bad, right? We are getting how many lines here? 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 lines of territory. It's not the worst, you know. It isn't the worst. I think you'd agree with that. As long as we're not giving up things of equal value, it's not the worst. And now we get to Proverbs. Don't let them Hane at the head of 2 and 3 stones, because if you allow your opponent to Hane here, oh my god. That is insanely stupid. Because now that's your territory. Ugh. Oh man, that would hurt. That would hurt. And it would get worse. It would get worse because you'd have to play here. You would have to play there. And then you can't let them keep extending, so you would have to turn in Gote. And at that point, I don't know. I don't know what you do. Just resign in shame. Be like, I'm sorry. I'll learn Proverbs one day. So can't do that, right? So extend. Hane, because I got some protection here. And last but not least, nice and solid. Nice and solid. Black's like, all right, whatever, man. I got huge corners. You've got whatever that is. Responds. Further reduction. Responds. And there we go. Wait, sorry, wrong one. Got ahead of myself. Got ahead of myself there. Sorry. So the question is, force, because we can't be denied out of the area. That would be bad. What are we going to do? Question here is, what are we going to do? Do we have to do anything, or is this more territory than Black has? What do you think? If Black also gets this move, does this equal what this is and what this is and what that is? Is it that big, do you think? Is anyone that crazy to say yes? I think we all agree it's not, right? Yeah, no way. No way. Well then, that means we must reduce. All right, what can we reduce? No, we can't reduce this. We can kind of reduce this a little bit. But the main area, the main man's over there. So can we reduce that? What do you think? What do you think, people? Is it possible to reduce? Or is it impossible? Konar aji are strong. You're right. It is strong, and it's also pretty simple. Well, looky there. That was kind of good. Has to drop down. Threatening. Now that threat is essentially an immediate threat to live. Right? Because you block, you can turn for the Atari, you defend, then you're alive. So black says, you are not alive. Simple as that. This isn't living. You are not alive, sir. Then white says, okay, then I'll leave. Fine. If I can't live here, I'll find somewhere else to live. Further removing the base. Further removing the base. Leaning to get out. This next move I like, because I don't see it played often enough. By Qs especially. The Hane here is actually really fantastic. Because you can control that cutting stone and have it just walk you right to your connection. You know? So white pokes, or black pokes, sorry. And we're connected. Trying to divide and conquer. Simple connection means that there's Aji. So we turn. And now white has to figure out what to do here. And this part is tough. This part can be tough. But there is hope here. Do you know why there's a lot of hope here? This is where Lee Changho proved he's the world's #1. There's a lot of weird things going on here, which is what makes this position interesting. Because there's a cut here, there's a cut here, there's a cut here, there's a group here that's not completely alive, and there's a group here that's not completely alive. So we poke. And we get shape. Okay. Getting some shape. Getting that shape. Black is trying to kill one or the other. Pokey, pokey, poke. Again ignored. Man, those white stones must be dead right now. Oh man, those things must be dead. You know? Cut. Need to make sure that we're not dead in the corner. So play shape point. But man, those upper left ones. White does not feel comfortable. Ugh, tell me about it, man. I mean, we can cut here and take some stones, right? But who cares if all of that is dead? You know? Going for the whole group instead. Atari. Connect. That left Samaji behind. So we cut through. Sorry about that. Black blocks. Again, looking for the kill on here. Cause that's pretty decent exchange, right? Like you get these, and I'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stones in exchange for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and some territory. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. So black says no. No, you can't get all those. Can't get all those. Sorry. So white says, and I'll connect. I'll connect. Simple. Black says, are you really connected? You got me-eye cutting point, son. And white's like, yeah, I'm just gonna connect. I'm just gonna connect. It's fine, I'm gonna connect. And black's like, are you really connected to anything here? Excuse me? And white's like, yeah, I'm just connected. Just connected. I'm connected, you see. And black says, oh, are you? Are you really connected? Ooh. That looks painful, huh? What do you think here? What do you think here? What do you think here? Can't Atari here, because it leads into an Atari, and you have to fill. So what do you think here? Did someone oops? Who just oopsed? Is it white? It's only a Tudon. He might have oopsed. Or did black just oops? Anyone know? Can anyone read it? It's hard to read, isn't it? Unfortunately, it's actually not as hard to read as you think it is, because we just ruled out one move, and that's this one. Which means there's only one other possible move, right? And that is this one. We try to save. And now you've got it. Right? It's a little tricky, maybe. It's a little tricky still, maybe. But there is one move for white to live. And again, we can rule out this one because it leads into an Atari. Take, back off, and you're fine again. So we can rule out that one. But we can use its Aji. And we use its Aji with the clamp. The happy, happy clamp. Now you got it. Now you got it. Because really quickly, if we connect here, now we can play this. Extend, take, extend, take. And if we connect here to prevent it, we've got this, which just makes life. Because we can't connect here, because that's not a killable shape. So yeah, nothing you can do. White just lived, and these stones are dead. And all of your territory's gone. Oh man. Oh, all of your territory vanished. So, you fought against it, white killed you and then lived, after ignoring your moves repeatedly to try to kill him. And that, ladies and gentlemen, why it's hard to kill a group. Oh, It's very tough to kill a group. Oh, so tough. I remember when this was all territory. All listen here. Very tough to kill a group. So, Black resigns after the initial clamp. After initial clamp, it's just all ogre. All ogre.